Hi, it's Morgan and welcome to the Dove's Nest. In today's video, I am decluttering and organizing our playroom toys. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, hi and thanks so much for subscribing. My name is Morgan Dove and I am a self-admitted hot mess mom, and in the year 2020 I set out on a journey to clean up my life and therefore clean up my house. I am working my way through a modified version of the FlyLady cleaning system. If you're not familiar with FlyLady, I'll be sure to link my 101 video here. But I'm working on creating habits and routines for myself so that I can keep my life and my home more organized and more tidy, and therefore my family happy. Because let's be honest, everyone enjoys a clean home. If you're interested in seeing how I modify the FlyLady system with another system called the Clean Mama cleaning system, I will be sure to link that video up here for you. Today I'm working on a declutter project. I started a 2-week extreme home declutter project back in February. The point of that declutter project was to just get rid of things in my life that I didn't need. I have a tendency to be a little bit of a hoarder and a pack rat. My husband is a minimalist, so it doesn't get totally out of hand. But I noticed we had a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff, and I found that it was wasting my time because I was spending so much extra time picking things up or trying to find places for it or trying to organize things when I didn't even want them in my house in the first place. So it was costing a lot of time, it was costing a lot of stress, and I was just over it. So I started this extreme home declutter where every day for 2 weeks I picked the worst spots of my home and decluttered and purged those, and I will link that playlist for you up here. However, I sort of stopped right before I got to the playroom because out of nowhere came this worldwide pandemic, and all of a sudden I now found myself working from home as well as homeschooling my kids from home, cooking 3 meals from scratch from home, all while in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. And so the declutter project took a break. However, it's back on. In part 1 of my playroom declutter series, it took me 2 days and I was able to sort through the crap on the floor. My husband sort of just took a push broom, pushed everything into a giant pile in the corner of our playroom, and between trash and books and educational toys and activities and our regular toys and activities, it took me 2 days to just put everything in piles and go through it. And so today I'm actually going to further declutter and organize those toys. I ordered some things from Target, specifically extra storage bins, to put those toys in so that I can categorize them and give everything its own specific home. Because that was a big problem with our system before, was I had the shelves, but I didn't have enough toy storage bins and they weren't labeled. So my kids, when they wanted a toy, would have to pull out the whole bin and then they would just dump it to find the toy that they wanted. And if it wasn't in that bin, then they just kept going through whatever other bins we had, or they'd swipe up the shelf. And so now I feel like I have a little bit better organizing system in place. I will be creating vinyl labels for each of those toy storage bins. So when that video is ready, I will be sure to link it up here. And my plan for that is to have sort of a picture graphic that I'm gonna use iron-on vinyl on the front of each of these toy bins so that my kids don't have to question, is the toy I'm looking for in this bin or not? They can just know, oh, I want a Frozen toy, let's go to the Frozen toy bin, and look, there it is. So that's my plan, but that will be in a second video. If you're ready to help me come and clean out these toys, let's go to my playroom. Let's take a look at this playroom. So there is our toy storage shelf. We are going to be working on that today. I've got 2 empty navy blue bins to get started. And these are all of the toys that we are going to sort through and organize today. As I mentioned, I have 2 empty navy blue bins. I think I have a total of 7 navy blue bins. 2 of them are already full of baby toys, 2 are empty, and then the other ones are over here holding toys. I also have my Target order came, and I have 6 of the cream colored bins that I'm going to use. So we should have plenty to get these toys organized. Also in my phone, I have a list of what I want to put in each bin. And then probably in another video, I'm going to create some vinyl picture decals to serve as labels for those bins so that my kids know exactly what toy goes in what bin, and cleaning up should not be a problem. Let's get started on these toys. All right, let's get started sorting and purging and organizing these toys. The first thing I'm doing is I'm opening up all of these bins. These are the Threshold brand storage cubes from Target. They're 13 inches by 13 inches, so they're the biggest ones that I've been able to find on the market. And I just like them because they fit snugly in my organizing system, the cube storage organizer back there, which is also Threshold brand from Target. I'm also grabbing this wicker basket. It's where we keep our stuffed animals. So what I'm doing is I'm sort of already just starting to put toys in bins. Now, mentally, I had a checklist of what bin would hold what, and the way it kind of worked out is the navy blue bins kind of turned into boy toys and the white bins turned into girl toy bins. So that was helpful. So if you're starting from the front, so on your video, the lower left-hand corner, I'll tell you sort of how I'm sorting and organizing these bins. So the one closest to the camera is baby dolls and accessories. The next one is Peppa Pig toys. Then we have Frozen and Disney princess, like Barbie dolls and toys and little mini action figures. The last white one in that row is Little People toys. We have lots of Little People and play sets. Then in the back, the first navy blue bin is Transformers and Power Rangers. And we have so many of those for my son that I actually end up separating those into two separate bins at the end of the video. Next, I have Nerf guns. We don't have a ton of Nerf guns. I think we have 4 Nerf guns and 1 rocket launcher, but we have so many darts. And so I actually keep the darts in like a little sand pail that I also put in that bin. So if my kids just want to grab a gun really quick, they can, and then they can just grab the pail and then they can go play with their Nerf guns. And then the white bin behind me is TV characters, mostly Paw Patrol and PJ Masks characters, but there are some other superhero and Avengers characters as well. And then as I mentioned, that wicker basket is going to be for stuffed animals. As you can see, as I'm sorting through these bins, I'm coming upon a lot of dress-ups or accessories for dress-ups or purses or pretend play brushes or lipstick or makeup or, all of those things that sort of encompass the dress-ups category. And for now, I'm just sort of throwing them over to our dress-ups closet. And for now, I'm sort of throwing them over towards the dress-ups closet. If you're interested, I will be posting a video in a few days. I made that dress-ups closet and the accessories tower next to it. It was a quick DIY project for less than like $40. And so I have a video upcoming on how to do something like that very quickly. I still need more bins. I need 2 more of the pink bins because we do have enough things to put in those bins. I thought I could get away with just having 1, but it turns out we have a lot of dress-ups and accessories. And so my goal here with these bins, I'm not shoving them chock full of stuff. I just want everything categorized so my kids will be able to look at the picture on the front of the bin and know what's in it. But it can't be so heavy that they can't pull it on and off of the shelf. And so I am actually purging a lot of toys. The bins that are on the floor still in front of me, those are all educational activities that I'm finding mixed in with the toys. And so I'm going to have to put that in my educational activity pile and sort through all of that in another video. But I'm also, if you see me throwing things like off to the side, off camera, it's the garbage. I didn't bring a garbage bag over here with me. And so when I throw it, I'll just gather all of that stuff up at the end and put it in a big trash bag. You'll also notice that there are some bigger items left on the storage cubes behind me. Those are bigger toys that don't necessarily fit in the bins. A lot of things that go with like the Little People, there's like a castle and a Noah's Ark ship. And so I don't necessarily need those in the bins, but I do try to keep them organized together on the shelf should somebody want them. When I did part 1 of this playroom series, I got a lot of comments about toys, and I thought I addressed it in that video, but I guess I didn't address it very well. So a lot of people were talking about first having a toy rotation. Now, we did have a toy rotation. It didn't work. There was one point where I would put maybe 3 or 4 bins on our shelf and all of the other toys would be hidden away. And it's almost like our kids just turned into little detectives and they would always find them. And then then they would scatter them sort of wherever the hiding spot was, and then I'd have to pick up mess in multiple rooms. We have a rule that toys do not leave the playroom. If a toy leaves the playroom, it goes directly in the trash. And so that's kind of how we keep the toys corralled to this one room. And that was the one exception, was the toys that we were hiding to keep in the rotation. Now you can see all of our stuffed animals. You guys, I hate stuffed animals. I think they're so gross, and I'm not sure why. I never played with them when I was little. I never collected them. I have never purchased a stuffed animal. I just think they are gross. My son and daughter like to sleep with them, but they each kind of have 2 or 3 favorites. And so while I'm not doing it today, I'm going to go through and purge the stuffed animals and just get rid of most of them because we don't need them. They take up space. They make a mess. So it's for a different video, but I will be getting rid of them. I'll probably only keep their first stuffed animals and then the ones that they like to sleep with the most often, because those are the only ones that we really care about. The rest of them are just junk. Don't buy people stuffed animals. They're gross and they're dirty and they get dirty and then they get gross in the washing machine and they're never the same again. Just a little tip from a mom who hates stuffed animals. Now I'm going to start working on the baby toys. You can see there's like a giant play mat there sticking up. It actually is broken, so I ended up tossing it. And then that one baby bin, I actually am going to bring back down here because I have this other bin. And I'm just sorting through everything that we're going to keep or get rid of. I found some little people play sets that I can put in their proper spot. But I was able to purge that down enough to where I only have one bin of baby toys. And it was my kids' favorite toys, and so those are the only ones I'm keeping. And then I put that empty bin back on the bottom. We'll be able to put something else in there. You can see my trash pile is getting pretty large. I've actually got 3 big giant black trash bags. We're getting rid of a chair. We're getting rid of a box of stuff. And then I find more baby toys. And again, if it looks like it's missing pieces or isn't all there, it was trash. So now I'm moving back on to the dress ups. We have a ton of dress ups, and a lot of this stuff that wasn't already on hangers are Halloween costumes from my husband and I. We have things like wigs and grown-up costumes. And so I was gonna save those, and then I decided not to. I saved some of the wigs because my kids think wigs are hilarious. But everything else I'm just trashing, and then I'm putting all of the accessories and masks and wands and purses and jewelry and things inside that one bin. Again, I will purchase 2 more bins and sort of have it a little bit more organized, maybe wigs and hats on top, gloves, in the middle or something, and then shoes and whatever on the bottom. And then I actually found a bunch of pieces that go with this little vanity my daughter got for her birthday. This frozen vanity is her favorite, so I'm putting that back together. And now when we had our home remodel, the workers put all of the puzzles on the very top shelf of our bookcase. So I'm pulling off puzzles and I'm going to put them in their own storage bin as well. First, I have to take a bunch of them apart, and then I'm going to put all of the pieces in little Ziploc baggies in a Tupperware container, so that if my kids want to do a puzzle, they can just go through and find the right bag with the pieces, and then they have everything right where they need it. So just realized I don't have an after shot filmed of this organizing, so you'll have to wait until my storage bin labels video to see the final product. Sorry. Someone unleashed the animals in the house. Do you hear how loud my family is? Oh, I'm so glad that part of the project's done. You guys, of the whole declutter series, the playroom has just been what I've been dreading the most. I don't spend a lot of time in there. I can count, let's see, we've lived in our house for almost 3 years, and I can count on 2 hands how many times I've actually been in our playroom, because it's always such a mess. It just gives me anxiety. So now that we're one step closer to a more clean and tidy and organized playroom, to be honest, I wonder how long it's going to last. Usually I clean up the toys. It's the only time I go in the playroom, and I clean up the toys like once every 6 months and then clean the playroom really good, which is kind of gross, but whatever. I'm not in there. Anyway, I'm so glad to have it done. I hope you were able to get a little bit of cleaning done too and follow along this process with me. If you're interested in following me along this journey of trying to get my life cleaner and more organized, be sure to click that subscribe button. And thank you so much for being here. As always, I will see you in my next video.